All right, welcome back. Got another update here on my dividend investing portfolio. So if you're new to the channel, what I do is every week or so, sometimes twice a week, I'm just adding in a few $100s to my account, and I'm documenting my journey as a dividend investor in Canada. So I've been going for about 6 months here, and we've seen nice, slow and steady growth in the dividends each month. That's because I am constantly depositing more money into the account and also reinvesting any dividends that I do get. So basically the portfolio, when we look at it here, the stock value is sitting at about $12,722. Plus I have about $280 in cash that I'm going to be spending in this video. But overall, since I got started in September, basically I'm up $850 for about 7%. That includes the capital gains, or like the stock appreciation, and also the dividends that I've received. So here it says $94, and actually since I filmed the last video I got 2 more, so I can go into the dividends tab right now and we can just log those. I just keep track of all of the dividends in here, but I did get one from H&R Real Estate, so that's TSCHR.UN, which came through on March 5th, 2021, and that was for 58 cents, and that was in Canadian dollars. And then I also got one from Ryokan, which is REI.UN. That was also March 5th, 2021. And those guys paid $1.20. And that was also in Canadian dollars. There we go. All right, so looking at the summary tab then, yeah, that's been reflected to $96 now. And that's all of the dividends that I've received to date. But yeah, it's looking really nice. My annual estimated dividend income is just over $500 now. This is using the forward annual dividend that I see in Yahoo Finance. And that basically means if you divide that number by 12, looking at about almost $43 per month. And actually after the transactions that I do in this video, we're going to come back and see that this number has increased. So looking at the sectors here, also utilities is creeping up again, almost 32%. I'm going to be buying more utilities today. They're just all super cheap right now. And I'm just going to take that opportunity to buy the dip. And then later on in the next couple weeks or months, then when those go back to normal, then I'll start looking at trying to get this percentage down and look at building up some of my other sectors. So anyways, let's go into the portfolio and take a look at what's going on in here. Right now I have it filtered to basically have the largest percent of gains here. So you can see it's always descending as we go down. Some of these are absolutely ridiculous, but often these ones are making up pretty small percentage of my actual holdings. But basically I'm just going to come down here and look at the red ones today because there's some pretty good buys. And right away I see Innergex Renewable Energy here. They're down 7%. I've been buying into these guys a little bit in the last week or so, and they just keep going down. But I'm going to just buy more. I think that's my plan. And then same with Algonquin Power and Utilities. I would just want more of these, and same with Northland Power. Basically my 3 most damaged stocks at the moment I'm going to be buying more into. And then also just when I'm buying straight into utilities all the time like this, I'm trying to just make at least one purchase that's not utilities, something else that's a good deal, because I just have, I think, too many utilities personally in my pie. And so I'm looking here at Granite Real Estate as well. These guys are a solid one to be picking up, and when they're in the red, I'm going to go for that as well. So yeah, let's jump into Wealthsimple Trade, which is the broker that I use in Canada. Honestly, it's a really nice trading app to use. There's a mobile app, there's a desktop app. That's what you see right now. And there's you don't pay any fees on trading. So that's what I'm doing. You'll see in this video, when I buy one single stock at a time, I don't pay for that trade. Whereas some other apps, you're paying $5 or $10 or something like that. And it just doesn't really make any sense to buy such small volumes when you use those apps, but Wealthsimple Trade is quite good for that. So anyways, there's a link in the description if you'd like to try it, but otherwise I'm just going to jump in and start purchasing the stocks. So we can get started with Granite. That's GRT.UN, the only non-utility stock for today. You can take a quick scan through here about what they've been up to in the last little while. They've also been experiencing a dip, but there's a reasonable chance that that's going to recover, as they do have a pretty strong upward trend here in the last 5 years. So I'm just going to take one at a market buy and just place that order. Sweet. Okay, so the next one to pick up, let's look at Northland Power. And these guys are also experiencing pretty similar shape, like a very extreme dip right here. You can see here, get some different views of that, and I'm just going to buy it while it's down. And so for these guys, I'm going to be looking at taking 2 at a market buy for about $84. Let's place that order. Okay, and then Innergex, that was another one. This was my most destroyed one at the moment. Look at that. It's just like plummeting. But that's okay. These guys might continue to fall for the time being, but I'm just going to basically ride it down with a lot of these, I think, and then just see what happens. But yeah, with Energex, I want to take 3 of these and go in for about $64 or $65 for the 3. Place that order. And then the last one to pick up here is Algonquin Power and Utilities, AQN. And these guys, when we look at my account, so I've got $60 left to trade, and hopefully I can squeeze in 3 at a market buy. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Yeah, it's in within 5%. Let's take a look here. I'll just put it in as a limit buy for 1945. Where was that? Limit buy 1945. That's the current price that it's displaying, and we'll go with 3. And let's see if that goes through. Yep, that sounds good. Okay, so we'll see if that one clears, but otherwise let's jump back into Google Sheets and go record these transactions in the Transactions tab. So what I do here is I just look up the price that I actually paid in my notifications that I get from Wealthsimple Trade, usually in the mobile app, and just confirm what I actually paid, because when you're using market buys, the price usually differs a little bit from what you were displayed. But otherwise it's pretty fast, and it looks like also AQN did come through just while I was switching screens, and so I'm able to log that one right now as well. But once that's all in, basically I just want to come back to the summary page and check to see what's changed. And usually I'm looking here at the annual dividend income. So before, at the beginning of the video, it was $514, and now it's gone up to $524. So that's nice. My annual passive income now is $524. It's just gone up by $10. And that was based, that increase was just from the deposits, the transactions that I just made right now in this video. And later in the week, when I come back and add a little bit more money, or maybe next week or something, this number just keeps climbing, which is really nice to see. Passive income is a really amazing thing. And for now, what I'm doing is I'm just always reinvesting it back into the stock purchases. But eventually, later in life, I'll be looking to probably live off of this, much later in the future. I'm going to need a little bit more than this probably per year, but you get the idea. This is going to keep growing and growing and growing. And eventually I'll be withdrawing it decades in the future. So I think just before we go, if I wanted to take one other look here in the Sparklines, while I was looking, I was just thinking about Energex specifically, because these guys got slammed so hard. Because in Wealthsimple Trade, it only displays the last 5 years, which was basically this, but I wanted to take a better look here at the max. See if we can get any more information. The thing with this is it doesn't actually, the Sparkline function in Google Sheets doesn't give you the exact duration of the X or Y axis, but you can kind of see here that even though it's dropped like crazy, we're still experiencing upward trend here, which is something that I'm cool with. But also I was thinking, because a lot of people are also talking about like the whole market is crashing these days and the bubble is bursting, and so I did want to also take a look here in the extra Sparklines. This is basically a 1-year Sparkline of all of the positions that are in my portfolio. And here, I just want to get an idea when I scroll down if we're seeing a lot of crashing here. So as you see, TransAlta Renewables is going down. There's a little drop right here, but not much. This one, that's Brookfield Renewable Energy Partners, is dropping a bit. And just as we kind of scroll here, Boralex. So a lot of the utility companies are dropping. MRU, this is a grocery chain. Not so recently, but just been trending downwards lately. Here's another big drop, Northland Power, Energex. Yeah, so basically it's just the utility companies that are getting slammed. The rest of the shares are actually not looking too bad. This is funny with Shaw. They were just constantly dropping over the last few months, and I was getting kind of annoyed with that. Looks like they've experienced something good in the last few weeks or two. And same with a couple other guys here. So yeah, I just pop into this tab every once in a while as well and just quickly scan to get a really quick, overview of the overall performance of what's actually going on in all of my stocks. And basically this is running off of the portfolio tab. So anything that's in the portfolio tab, if I was to add another share here, it would add up in that Sparklines tab as well. Which just reminds me that if you like this sheet and you'd like to try using it for yourself, there's a link in the description below. You can give it a go. And also, if you're interested in trying Wealthsimple Trade, there's a link in the description there too. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, make sure you hit a big thumbs up. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.